Hello, this is Celeste and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you 16 tropical themed thank you cards that I have made for a friend of mine. This particular friend is very interested in pineapples and Prosecco. So I made some cards along that theme with her. So this card I used the little wine glass that was in the Hero Arts European themed monthly hero kit. And I found this cute little pineapple in this set by Carpe Diem. I actually really like this stamp set because it has all of these cute small stamps that could be used for just about any occasion. And I'm particularly fond of the glasses because I wear glasses and I just like glasses. So anyway, these are cards I made with the pineapple and Prosecco theme. So this one here, I randomly stamped out the pineapples and the wine glasses. And I colored in the pineapples and the wine glasses I colored in, and I used, you can't tell very well in the video, but I used a sparkle pen to put bubbles in the wine glass. So it looked like Prosecco, which is a sparkling wine. And then I used a die cut to make the label and stamp thanks on it, and then just matted everything on green. The next pineapple and Prosecco themed card is this card here. This one I did a much more regular stamping pattern, so I kind of did like a zigzag pattern with the pineapples and then with the wine glasses. And this one's all in black and white, and I used the silver sparkle powder, which I shadowed with black cardstock in the back. And I like this one a lot, but I decided I wanted to try making it with color, so I did it with purple. This card's made exactly the same way. It's the this is the Big Thanks die from Concord and Ninth. I stamped out all of the pineapples and wine glasses and then put the die backed with purple sparkle cardstock on that one. This one here is my last pineapple and Prosecco themed card. For this one, I used the Hero Arts Layering Pineapple stamp. And I stamped and die cut the pineapple and backed it with a couple layers of cardstock to make it stand out a little bit. And then I just stamped the pineapples and the wine glasses around it. Kind of like a little party. And the Mahalo is from a stamp that I'll show you a little bit later in the video. The next group of cards is using that pineapple stamp from Hero Arts. So this one I used the Big Thanks cutting die, cut it out in blue, and then I die cut the, stamped and die cut the pineapple and backed that on a few pieces of cardstock for it to pop up a little bit. And then there's a cute little flower in the pineapple set, so I accented the pineapple with that. And I like this card so much, I made it in pink. So, done exactly the same way. And the last pineapple theme card is this one right here, which is a nice, clean, and simple card. It's the pineapple backed on a few pieces of cardstock so that it has a little bit of dimension. The thank you is from the Simon Says Stamps Tiny Greetings stamp set. And then I just decorated with some sequins. This one I did right on my card base. I normally use a panel and then put it on the card base, but this one, it was just such a simple card that I didn't really see that that was necessary. So, our next set of cards is using the Hawaiian Hibiscus stamp from Sunny Studios. So let me take that out of there for a second. This one has been a ton of fun because it's got 4 different layers of stamping for each flower. So I have been stamping my little heart out, making all different color combinations with my Catherine Pooler inks to see what would look nice and what I want to use. And I labeled each one with the little codes for each of the ink that I use so that when I want to use the stamp set again, I can just come back to it and go, okay, these are the inks I used for this one. I really like how that flower came out. I love this blue one. I love the green. It's not like you'd see a green hydrangea very often, but if you wanted to do a cool stylized card, that might be kind of neat. This one here, all of the flowers are Catherine Pooler except for this one. I used Distress Oxides because I looked online for hibiscuses. Did I say hydrangeas earlier? I might have. It's hibiscuses. I looked online for pictures of hibiscuses, and I found this one with these beautiful colors in it. And these are all the colors that were in it, but it didn't translate very well to ink. So we make some mistakes. We learn from them. So, but it was lots of fun making all these, and now I have a good reference for future. And also, if I ever need to do 4 layers with my Catherine Pooler inks, I'll have some reference points, which is pretty cool. So the first card I made with my hydrangea stamps, oh my god, I keep calling it a hydrangea. It's a hibiscus. The hibiscus stamp is this one here. I have the hibiscus. It was die cut, and that's popped out on foam tape. And I used the leaves. And then I used the ocean theme, my monthly hero kit. I believe this is available in a standalone set now from Hero Arts. So I love this set. And so I use that for the ocean. I use the sand embossing powder for the sand, and then I use Catherine Pooler inks to blend the sky. So I think this is actually one of my favorites of the hibiscus ones that I made. The next one I made is, I actually used the technique that Jennifer Maguire showed in her video with the Ginny K wreath builders and stencils. I will link that video below. But for this one, I used this snow stencil from My Favorite Things, and I did it all around the outside. And I did 4 different colors, so like the corners are the same. And when I looked up hibiscus arrangements to see kind of what they looked like, to kind of figure out how to arrange my stamped images, a lot of the hibiscus arrangements had a lot of greenery in them. So for this one, I used a lot of the leaves that came with the kit so that my hydrangeas, hibiscuses would really pop out. And I have Mahalo, which again is from a stamp set that I'll show you in a little bit. So, and then I have this one here. This one, I had all these vibrant colors with the hibiscuses, and what I wanted to do is put that on a vibrant colored background too. So I found this great teal blue cardstock in my stash, and I just cut out a white frame with my rectangle die cuts, and then die cut the thank you and put that, or thanks, and put that in the center. And the last hibiscus card is also using that wreath builder stencil technique. This one I went a little bit wild on, and I think I may have rotated my stencil a few too many times. But I like how it came out because it kind of has a sort of picnic blanket feel to it. It's like a swirly gingham, if you will. So this one, all I did was I did the background with the yellow ink, and then I put down my my hibiscus flower, and I die cut thank you and put that on there. So, okay, the next group of cards I have to show you is using the layering sea turtle set from Hero Arts, and that is where that Mahalo greeting comes from as well. So the first one I have is this one right here, and the way I did this one is I made a mask. I just used a circle die, and I cut out the circle and put that down on my paper, and then I used the Hero Arts wave stamp and stamped right down on top of it. So, and then because of the mask, it just made the circle of the waves. And then I've got my sea turtle on there with Mahalo. So along the same lines of that one, I just used a different color ink for my background and for my turtles, or for my turtle. And so this one I've got the turtle, and then I stamped thanks instead of Mahalo because, you know, variety is the spice of life. So our next card is using the Hero Arts water reactive inks. So for this one, I took the inks direct to paper and just swirled them up and down, alternating the bluish one and the greenish one. And then I spritzed it with water. And when you do that, it makes it look like you're doing, like, you know, when you do salt on watercolors, and you get that really awesome modeling doing it with the water reactive inks. I've got my sea turtle, and then I backed it on a silvery sparkly cardstock and cut out the Mahalo from the silvery sparkly cardstock as well. So, and then my next one, this is my very first Eclipse card. I finally sprang for the large alphabet cutting dies. These are the honeybee ones that I used, so I could finally make an Eclipse card. So the background I made using a technique with Distress Oxide reinkers, and I made a video on that a while back. I'll link to that in my comments as well. And so I made the background, and then I die cut out the thank you and stacked each of the letters up with several layers of cardstock, and then glued them back into the background and popped one of my sea turtles on there. So there we go, my very first Eclipse card with my very newly purchased large alphabet dies. And my final card to show you today is also using that same Distress ink reinker technique that I used on the previous card, but this one, the colors are a lot more vibrant because I used less water on it. So I trimmed it down, matted it with craft cardstock, die cut out a white thanks, and put my sea turtle on there. And because the colors are so vibrant on this one, I really just didn't think it needed any embellishment, so I didn't put any sequins or sparkles or any of that on there because it's already so vibrant. So those are my 16 tropical themed thank you cards. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, please like it, maybe subscribe to my channel, and you have a great day.